run it back. Hey, I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Yeah.
We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch.
It is loud and it is wet here, Coach, as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Wait, 10, 53! Hey, tight.
A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, 66, Shadow!
Throwing now is Brady. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Hey, check it. 72.
Brady now to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And an alley to run. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's McCaffrey. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Defense, let's go. Hey, 58. Go. Hey, pick your game up.
Now Brady. Looking for Kelsey there, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Stills had it, but couldn't hang on. But it's going to be second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Slam, slam, slam.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. From the gun, here's Brissett. Complete, he finds Brain. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down. It's Lindsay. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Short yardage, Brissett. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. Weather like this, always treacherous for kickers. A good sign early, though, as he's able to put that one through.
And you remember him right before the kick stomping around his area to make sure that things were going to hold for his plant foot, and it did.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the run.
On play action, it's Brady. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Brissett. And Kelvin Benjamin's got it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. First down, right back to Lindsey. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett. That's complete. It's Gordon. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
Let's go.
They'll run with Lindsey. A little track jump, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
6 brings up 2nd and goal at the Seahawks 8-yard line.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Man left. We got 4.
One more time with Lindsey. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
Set, ready. Trying to win. 59. We own them. Check.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And Lutz puts this one through. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it? And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Tracy Walker. Kelsey, the intended receiver there.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
On first down, Lindsey. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
In your face.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check, 59.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. The tight end, Cameron Brate, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. Oh, now Lindsey lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Hey, wahoo!
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Brady now on first down. Got him in. It's Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tre'Davious White with a pick, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
That one goes for 24 yards. To throw, Brissett. And Stills bringing it in. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Brissett. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. And Brate, the tight end's got it. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Here's Brissett. Gets it to Gordon. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. They'll throw again. Brissett. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Connor Barwin. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right...
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Kenny Stills in the final seconds of the first half as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one taken from the 7. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run here with Lindsey. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks 30.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action with Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Brissett sets to throw it. It's complete. Stills. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Let's get it.
The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Brissett. He'll find Lindsey here. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Phillip Lindsay, his 4th touchdown on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Brissett now, and he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Let's field it a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for this.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Another try after the first down sack. Brady, and the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, let's go. 58, boys, 58. 58, it's Mike. Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy. Sugar!
From the gun, it's Brady. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Seahawks send out their punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will be taken at the 13. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Buccaneers.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Boston Scott, his first carry. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check 52.
They go again with Scott. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And the Buccaneer first down.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On the bootleg, it's Brissett. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack.
It's 2nd down.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. On play action, Brissett. Underneath, he's got Brate. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's Matt Hawk now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Alpha.
51, Mike.
Bravo.
We got to get the ball. See, get the ball right here. Let's go.
When he hits.
Throwing again. Brady. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 15. 1st down, Seahawks.
And that's good.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Throwing on 1st down is Brady. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Looking back to the air on second down, it's Brady. This will be caught by Brown. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. 51.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady.
Push him back.
It's caught by Sanders. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Brady. And Sanders has got it complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21. Brady, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Brady. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
At the 16-yard line.
Throwing again on second down. Brady. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 15. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Here's Scott. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Trying to get it that time to Stills, and it's 3rd and short.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On 3rd down, it's Lindsey, and he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll run on first down. It's Scott. Wesley Woodyard there on the tackle.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Hey, let's get this, get this.
They run it with Janovich, the fullback. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
49, check 49, check 49.
Check 4, check 4.
On 3rd down, Scott. And he will have a first down here, but I have a feeling it's not going to be for long. They're already walking backwards. They get the all-pro guard there, Quentin Nelson. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Check, 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 check. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist.
They'll run with Scott. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. They get the former number 6 overall pick, Quentin Nelson, out of Notre Dame that time. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Kill, kill, kill. Bang, bang.
They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Buccaneers, a loss would have really hurt. As it stands, they finished the first half at 3-5, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8, and they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.